Welcome back to Red, White, and Buffalo, a podcast about the Buffalo Bills. Just some pals talking Buffalo Bills football. What a week one win. My name's Adam, and this my co-host Ron Zilla.
Hey, let's just kick through some of what we're going to talk about this week. So, I think the statement win, as Adam mentioned, we got
Very
Diggs
big.
and Gabe Davis and their performance from that. Some of the initial slot issues it looked like we saw. Miller, the mighty Von Miller, and his impact. Our Buffalo D line, I think everyone was pretty impressed with that.
Very.
Josh, with his stiff arm, might have been the most fun thing of the game.
Have
It's
to
hard
talk
say.
about that.
And then I think the offense quick release kind of strategy against, so we can talk about like what things they did against the Rams, which worked out. And then
Yeah.
James Cook, and it's kind of just the overview and maybe some next week predictions. So
Yeah.
yeah. So I guess wanna just get right into it. I guess the statement win, right? I think we all think that. Yeah.
Yeah, huge, dude.
Yeah.
That was just, we've been hyped up, and then coming into it all summer long, we've been hyped up. But then coming into it, we got the Las Vegas, saying we're like Super Bowl favorites. The power rankings pretty much all around are showing us top one or two.
But
And we come out and we pretty much beat the other two or three team that was in the running for Super Bowl / power rankings too, coming off the title at home and just getting the rings, all that stuff, like it. You looked at the pregame show. We were the underdog. All but
Oh,
like two announcers picked us.
I was
I'm
just
pretty
gonna
sure.
say, is not just me that you still
Or
felt the
didn't pick
general.
us, should I say?
Yeah, that didn't pick us. Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
gonna say, is it just me, or was the whole vibe leading up to that game still that like Buffalo wasn't gonna do it for some reason, even though we got ranked
It was a
one,
weird vibe.
Yeah.
Like I was very confident. Like I was
I
very
felt-
confident with our team, but like it was a weird media not giving us the
yeah,
confidence.
media
of, like,
and just the general sports fans. I think like almost doubting kind of, and I think like we know it's a different team than the Super Bowl team. It wasn't exactly the same. We have Von Miller. They
Right,
didn't have
right.
Odell, but like it was still like a
mean,
pretty big win. I think
you could kind of tell that those pieces were missing from the Rams too,
Yeah.
like the extra receiver help. There was no one other than Cup, and
Yeah.
the extra rush help. I mean, look at that. Donald got one sack. I think Wagner got one sack. That's it. So
Yeah.
just goes to show you, it was just a huge win all around, huge effort, and that kind of leads us into Diggs and Gabe Davis. Like, just our offense is something else. Like,
Yeah.
we can kind of like talk about the slot issues too. Like, obviously Diggs, obviously still clear number one. I don't care what anybody says.
Could I
Obviously-
pause though just to say that
Yeah.
you 100% called it, and I agreed with you that like Gabe
Yeah.
could have a bigger presence, and I think that was showed it.
He's gonna be a star. He's gonna be
Yeah.
a star.
Like regardless, they're either gonna have
Yeah.
to double team Diggs and leave him open, or they're gonna have to like split, and then they're both gonna be
I
better
would-
out for it. So
I know Diggs is the number one, but I still would not be shocked to see Gabe maybe lead the overall yards. Like I absolutely targets, receptions, definitely will go to Diggs, but like I said, Davis gets the long ones. I know Diggs had like a 53-yarder, but like still I feel like overall Gabe's going to still end up getting like those. He had like
Maybe.
4 for 80, you
yeah,
know.
maybe even touchdowns between those two.
Yeah,
Could be.
I'm pretty sure it was like 9 last year for Gabe, even with
Yeah.
all the way less targets.
Yeah, yeah.
So
That was pretty great, I think. But I think both of them happy, like you said. I just felt like we had so many threats. Do you want to talk about? I guess we'll go with the slot receiver since we're still on the
Yeah.
receiver topic.
yeah,
know-
I liked the Crowder. He was awesome. That was I feel like a great addition. He's going to be
Yeah.
big going forward. McKenzie, I think, stepped up too. Obviously, the couple of fumbles between the both. I don't know.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
Yeah, I think the fumbles were weird. We discussed this kind of in depth a little bit, but like the fact, like you mentioned, the first one was more of like a strip fumble
Right.
rather than interception, right? So
Yes,
and,
yeah.
and the second one might have been like maybe just miscommunication. I mean, Crowder's also newer to
I feel
the
like
team.
Josh was trying to force that one a little bit, and
Yeah.
I don't know. It wasn't the best of throws from Josh, I feel like. And the first one was definitely just it was a football play. He
Yeah.
just they happened to run into each other right after, and it was still kind of like the act of catching the ball. And it basically was more of a fumble, but it counts against Josh. Still
Yeah.
a phenomenal game overall
Yeah,
because
And I'm not
He
worried. I
just
think both of them came through later in the game with good catches. So
I will say
yeah,
the first, like, going off of that, like the first, that was worrisome though. The first first quarter, first
oh
half, with like I think it was three consecutive turnovers, right?
yeah, yeah.
Interception, fumble, interception, or something like that, or like
It looked
within like
like
couple turnovers in a row, and I was just like, oh boy,
it
what's
kind of
going
looked
on
like the
here?
2020 Bills where we had a lot of fumbles and interceptions going
Yeah,
on. Yeah, I think that was the
I
year, wasn't it?
yeah,
Was that the
and that's
Josh year with
there.
more interceptions than usual?
I think so.
Yeah.
Um, it was, but then once they calmed down and they rolled, second half they rolled.
Oh
That's
yeah.
like what made me be like whatever, because second half was just such a dominant performance.
Like Shane was complaining about the Titans giving up in the second half, and I'm like, that has been the Bills' problem
For
for
last year,
years. I'd say
yeah, last year
years.
especially, we
Yeah,
definitely did not play well in the second half. This year, we definitely started so well
yeah.
because first half was like getting into it, and second half was exactly what we needed
Just
to
kept the
put the
foot on the
foot.
gas. Yeah, right.
Yes,
Yeah,
put
yeah,
it down and
yeah,
just shut it down because
yeah.
that's exactly what they did.
Let's talk about karma too. Jalen Ramsey being pretty vocal about how he wasn't going to say anything nice.
Yes.
And what happened
Yes.
with Diggs? he
What does he
pretty
say after we got the shit kicked out of us or something, like we got our
yeah,
asses beat or something? I don't even know. It was something like along those lines, and
yeah.
I was like, dude, you talk all this trash. He wasn't even talking trash necessarily, but like, I mean, come on. Like even like Von Miller or Aaron Donald, all of them like are like, yeah, they're good players
They're a
over
good
there. Like they
team.
did well. They're a good team.
Yeah,
He's just being a douche. It's like
yeah.
you're just being an asshole, and you got. I feel like it was just to create like a what is it, like a storyline or something,
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
for
yeah.
himself. He always That's what I feel like. Jalen Ramsey, his whole name is based off of storylines.
Like hype
I don't even
and
think
tension getting and stuff like that.
yes.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then look, gets burned again. But then he'll have like a big interception in a game or something, and then all of a sudden they'll be like, "Oh, he's such a great." It's like he gets burnt all the time. We just proved it again, again.
I just think it's
Diggs
great. Yeah.
roasted him.
Yeah, roast him. It's just great to see someone who was acting like, because he could have took the high road and been like, that's cool, but he almost looks, he made himself look dumb by saying all that and then not showing up for the game.
Right,
So,
and
yeah.
and the funny thing is like people tried to argue that like, oh well, he wasn't the main defender. Well, there was next gen stats that said that like when he was the main defender, I think completion was like he had that perfect passer rating against him,
Yeah.
and it was like 8 of 9 for like 98 yards, a touchdown. Like there's no getting around that he absolutely got toasted. Like even if you try to say like, oh, did no help, this I don't care. If he's so good and he says he's the best, he should be able to cover a solo receiver.
I agree. I agree.
So
So,
he got roasted.
yeah, we got roasted. Nothing else. We'll move on. We won't keep kicking it, but that dead horse. But Von Miller, let's talk about him. I think, man, he made everything better on defense, and I think,
Dude.
and I love that at the end, like he was so impactful. But at the end, he was like, man, like talk about our secondary being so good, that they make his job easier. But I think he also made their job easier because we kind of closed that midfield gap, between the line.
What was it? Second defensive drive, he got a sack, or was it first? Like almost immediate impact. Oh, it was like
Yeah.
immediate. He got the first sack of the game, and he was rushing, creating havoc all over the place.
Catching
and,
Henderson when he tried to get outside or inside.
Yeah.
Like trying to catch him when he gets past the
immediate
line.
impact.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
was just like, that's exactly what we've missed over the
Yeah.
last 2 years, especially.
Jumping
when
on
we've
that
made
short
runs.
pass game, like he was all over.
Well, it's just when
everything.
we've made runs, we haven't been able to get the quarterback. We haven't been able to put pressure on them. We haven't been able to put pressure on the running game. We haven't, or it's either or. We're either stopping the run, but then we can't stop the pass, or we stop the pass, then we have trouble with the run.
Yeah.
This year, I finally feel like even without Tre'Davious, we got 3 interceptions, got 7 sacks.
Yeah.
That's a phenomenal defensive open, and it's like, okay, we were playing the Jets. No, we were playing the
Last
defending
year's-
champions.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
literally, like
I think
mean,
it's a back to statement game. We made the statement right in the beginning, So, and that was one of the games that I was like, when we were doing predictions, that's one of them that I was kind of giving a potential loss to. Like I also was opening up the opportunity because I'm like, if we're gonna get one, it'd be like a team like that. But we just kind of Stafford was just flustered through the entire thing.
It was lovely. That
Yeah, it's
by the
great.
end of that game, like I just felt like the Rams overall were just such a frustrated team and just like flustered all over the place. It was nice to see. But going back to Miller, it's definitely. I mean, if we had any like needed any reassurance that like he was like with the media talking all this stuff about him like with Rams and the previous team, blah blah blah,
Yeah,
this and that, like he is definitely such. He's going to be such an awesome Buffalo Bill, and I cannot wait
yeah, it's gonna be
for what
great.
his career is going to be on the
And I
Bills.
think
Like it's going to be fun
we even kind of wondered if he would have like he'd make more of an impact as like a veteran
as
and
a
less
player or as
performance
like
because he's
a
getting older. But like he came through with performance too. Like yeah,
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 which is great because I mean maybe by the time he's towards the end of his contract, it might be more towards
the leadership.
leadership and
Yeah,
like
yeah,
essentially coaching role,
yeah.
But right now to be able to get like even if it's 2, 3, 4 years of just quality performance on the field, that's well worth the 120 mil that we spent on him. So
I agree. That's great, man. That was just like you said, immediate impact. So I think let's as
yeah,
long as we're on defense, let's talk about
I was gonna say
the
yeah.
Buffalo D line, and I think they talked about the three rotations and how
Yeah,
we
what
did.
is that? I wanted to pull that up actually because I want to see their depth chart again.
Yeah,
I
they
had it up
basically
earlier.
and like what they spoke about like during the game was there was they did it last year, but we had pretty much like two solid deep rotations. Now we have like three. Like I guess it's to the point where we can rotate three, and that keeps everyone fresh. I mean, I think that's amazing if you can get
Yeah.
and maybe you're
So in last week's our starters are Greg Rousseau, Ed Oliver. It says Raquan Jones, but or Daquan Jones, sorry. Daquan Jones, then Von Miller. And then our backup is Boogie, Jordan Phillips, Tim Settle, AJ Espinoza. And then third is Shaq Lawson, which honestly he could if I honestly he was a starter at one point on our team a couple years ago. So like it's just crazy cuz like this let's see. Rousseau got a sack and a half. Von
yeah.
Miller got 2. Boogie got a sack. Jordan
That's
Phillips got a sack and a half.
and that was all in
I
one
think
game. Yeah, that's
yeah,
crazy. Yeah.
AJ got a sack and a half. Honestly, how did Ed Oliver do? That's the only guy I don't even. I'm not. He got 1 tackle.
Uh,
Oh wow, was seen wearing a walking boot on his right leg following the Bills. Did he? I
maybe
didn't even realize he got hurt. Was that towards the end of the game?
maybe I don't recall either, but maybe they talked about it. Maybe they didn't
But
make a
the
big.
nice thing is, like honestly, Jordan Phillips could fill right back in, and then we still have like backups too of like that
Yeah,
Daquan Jones. We still have Tim Settle from
that's what I
we
thought they were
signed from
mostly talking about.
Seattle.
Not even linebackers, but just the
We
line
just have such
itself.
depth.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like the front line, you know. But regardless, that it's good. Yeah, I think the depth is great. And like I said, even if you have your, it's like hockey. Like even if you have your scoring, you know, the top line, and you have a second line just to give them a breather, they're gonna last longer through the whole game. You know. So
No, 100%. We're gonna like
yeah,
it overall. If we have more depth, like we're gonna see even better statistics. Like you don't need to play every down to get the statistics.
yeah.
You're probably if you're playing less, you're probably better off honestly with
When you're
like
in, you're making a
being
sack.
ready.
Yeah, yeah,
Right,
yeah,
because
yeah.
you're probably playing a guy against a guy who's been in all the whole time. Dude, did you see Jerry Hughes? That's funny. I was trying to look up statistics quick. Jerry Hughes got an INT for defensive end. Our old
Oh,
Jerry Hughes
oh yeah.
got an INT for Houston.
He must have been
How
happy.
funny!
Kept the football. It was probably a
That's
tip.
great.
It's probably a tip, right? Like
I
always.
was trying to look up team sacks. I think we led the league in sacks, other than obviously this Monday night game coming up. But
I don't see anyone beating it
let's
there. It's Denver and
see
Seahawks. So like,
team stats, pass rush. Where is it? Because honestly, I think we had 7 compared to. Oh well, Khalil Mack had 3. Damn.
mm,
It's funny. That goes to show you big impacts for
yeah,
big signings in the offseason, immediate impacts.
yeah,
Like
crazy.
people don't realize like one player like can significantly make your team better based off of like just certain things that like you were missing before,
Yeah, like
Like
I think we initially like look at like what gap is he filling, but then you don't think about how like he's making it easier for the secondary because we have like another
right.
linebacker who can like yeah cover a receiver short distance, you know, or like it's just all around he made a huge difference. Tackles, you know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tied with the Steelers for 7 to lead the season, start the season.
The Steelers had a weird
Steelers, and then
first. Yeah.
Chargers have 6, Titans have 5, Falcons have 4 to start the season for sacks.
Wild. Great start.
I mean, it's just huge because like having a defensive line, that's like what wins. That's what wins titles. Everyone thinks like, yeah, I understand having a great quarterback, having a great offense, yes, having a great defense, but what it comes down to is having a great offensive line and a great defensive line. I mean, why look at Burrow last year? He was the leading got sacked the most times in the NFL. And that was the big thing at the end of the game was what? Aaron Donald pressuring him,
Yeah.
almost sacking him, making him toss the ball when he had a wide open receiver, literally almost in the end zone, but he couldn't get it off. And that's literally it's huge. It's probably one of the most important parts of the game.
It's honestly like it comes down to like altering the pace of the game. So like your offensive line is giving you more time to make decisions. The defensive is taking away that time. So like that's huge. Like if you can do both at the same time, if your offensive line can give your quarterback more time, then on defense they're taking it away from the opponent's quarterback. So he's got to make a quick. Yeah, like that's just
right.
Like you said, it's winning, man.
Yeah, and that's like, and that's like our D line having like the depth too by being able to put our backups in and then continuously late in the game, fourth quarter, still, we're gonna need that when it's a close game, late in the game, like a playoff game, something like that, late in the season, whatever it is, and it's gonna be nice to still have fresh guys on our line, on our D line especially.
It's gonna be great.
And we'll see though, we'll see.
Yeah.
I mean. Going off that too, the offensive line, dude. I feel like our offensive line played a lot better this year. To start this year so
they
far.
Did,
like
yeah. Let's jump into that topic too.
Yeah.
About the whole like quick release, and then we can talk about the Joshy stiff arm too. But
yeah,
like
so yeah, the offensive line I feel like played very like going off the line quick. Like the offensive line I feel like played really well. Like they held better. I think we only allowed two sacks.
Yeah.
Which against that defense. I mean, what do you think? Like,
I think he would have had a lot more time, but then they were purposely doing the strategy to get the quick releases to just wear down like Donald, and like their D line, like so that they have to rush in with all their strength every time and not have like a chance.
Yeah. I texted you during the game. I was like, they're not even giving him even close to a chance. Like they were doing so many like slant routes quick, out routes quick, even like in the it's Singletary with the quick swing passes. He was playing well. Like I really like how he was playing this game and feeding off that quick releases and stuff.
Yeah, if he can maintain that the whole time, that type of gameplay, I'd be happy with that because we didn't have that consistent last year. And I think like you said, the fact the third downs, how many did you say? 9 out of 11?
I'm pretty sure
something.
Let me confirm, but I'm pretty sure it was 9 out of 11 third down opportunities, which is
crazy. But then that was
insane.
like that. If you look at last year, how many times did we get like 4th and 2 because the third down we couldn't get it, or we didn't have the run game to get us the 4 yards we needed. So it was like Josh Allen doing like a rush for 1 or 2 yards, like to keep it alive.
Right. No, yeah.
There's too many 4th downs we had to go on last season, and I'm glad to see like. Do just conversions. That's great. On the third down.
Let's see.
I think also my other thing.
Third down efficiency of 9 of 10.
9 of 10. That's even better.
9 of 10.
Yeah.
That is incredible. Like, it's great.
So
to do that, you're gonna win you're gonna almost win every single game if you are completing it over a 75% rate for like third downs.
So the fact they disclosed they were intentionally, that's amazing. So I don't want to like jump all over that and not talk about it, but I think that's great. But like getting back to also the offensive line holding, I can't wait till we get to a team that doesn't have like a prominent defense because they did that on purpose to kind of like quick releases. But
they did change it up.
So I can't wait till we get to a team that just has like a normal defense and see how long we hold them and give him time to like make decisions. You know what I mean? Like that's gonna.
Don't you feel like that kind of offense might just be our new offense though?
Yeah, I mean, it could be, yeah.
It's Ken Dorsey's offense now.
But they were also talking about Safford making a difference on the left. Like pulling to the left for the running back to go that way, which maybe he made impact too, bringing him on.
Oh, Saffold.
Yeah.
Dude, he's a beast. He's good. I know he's older, but he's a veteran. He's big. We needed somebody like that on our line, like a Richie Incognito kind of guy.
Yeah. So maybe he made more impact too, being like having more size up there. But I think, I hope.
I wonder.
We
Yeah.
don't. It's good if we don't need to have that, but we could switch that on if we need to. Like, say you're playing a team that you know is going to rush all the time. Like, shut that down. That's great. You know?
Don't you think that it would be smart to just always start every game like firing like that quick, fast, get a
Yeah.
lead, and then slow it down
Oh
maybe?
yeah,
Like
definitely.
I
Yeah.
feel like that would be the way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, because like if we could be like 1, 2, 3 first down, 1, 2 first down, and just go quick, 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 get it down the field and score. Like that's great. That's also last year we had a couple games where we couldn't get down and score, like finish it. So
It's just great. I feel like this offense is like just that type of offense. It's just like short, quick, fast, 10, 20, 15, 3, 5, 8. Then all of a sudden it's like a 25. Then all of a sudden it's like a 35 you get it. And then all of a sudden like keeps doing all those little plays that you all get that 58 yarder all of a sudden.
yeah.
It's just like I love how this offense works. It's like a perfectly well run machine right
And
now.
I think being able to mix it up is great too, like that. Like I don't know that we had that many options before, and now it's like you go short game pass, you go screen pass, you go bomb. You can it's almost like a pitcher, like you don't know what's coming.
Right,
like
right.
they could just and I like the play calling too, man. I'm not
Right.
the new offensive coordinator, right? So
New offensive coordinator,
yeah,
definitely different.
different.
I felt like it was a different. I know we were talking about it. Obviously, we're talking about the flow of the game and everything. I just feel like that is more credited to the game call
Yeah,
and like or game plan. Like we've talked. I know we like Dable, but like I felt like Dable did get carried by his players a little bit.
yeah.
Like I'm not saying he didn't help develop them or anything. I just feel like his play calls lacked at times, and we even talked about that so many times.
Yeah.
Like, why did they run that? What was that? What the hell was
He
that
would
call?
he would sometimes
Like,
try to get too cute instead of just getting what we needed, like doing some
right.
like really advanced play when you're like you just need to get someone to get 3 yards, like
Just
don't
do your normal.
don't
do the normal.
don't do a wide out reverse when you need 3 yards, you know what I mean?
Yeah, or don't
Yeah.
do like a QB sneak up the middle on 4th and short on the goal line when everyone knows it's coming.
Yeah.
Like do a normal play like a slant route or do anything. Why do you do why? Like
So
I just don't
hopefully-
understand those play calls.
Hopefully this is a fresh outlook then with a fresh coordinator, someone different running plays. Maybe that's also something that changed.
All I know
it,
is
yeah.
Ken Dorsey's offense looks phenomenal,
Yeah.
and other than the stupid cost like fumbles and the late like fumbles and the interceptions, honestly, the offense ran great,
Yeah.
and I don't feel like there was that much problem with it other than that. But like going into the fumbles, James Cook can't do that.
No,
He
that's
cannot.
that's something we wanted to discuss, and I feel really bad because like your first.
I want him to be successful, but that is.
But your
bad.
first handoff, like you got the jitters, but like you
That
said,
was too right. His
yeah, but
first.
in the NFL. But then like you said, like you can't. That's the one thing. Like even if you just got stuffed for 0 and you held on that ball, like you just don't fumble. Like Moss
You
had those
can't.
issues. Moss has those. He fumbled that game too. Moss did again.
I know in
Yeah.
the late fourth quarter
Yeah.
too. What if that was a crucial a time of the game? Like
But he's like a serial fumbler, So
and well, that's the problem. If
yeah.
you're gonna keep, I feel like we've given him just too many chances.
yeah, I hate to beat up on Cook so early, but like you said, he can't fumble again. I think, or he's done. Like they may give him
No.
some more chances, and I have high hopes for him. Like preseason, he looked all right, So we'll see.
I just if he does that time and time again, he's done.
He's done,
There's
yeah.
no ifs, ands, buts about it. It's just you can't. Your first time, if you do it again within your next like 100 rush attempts, you're probably not going to be getting many more attempts this
No.
season anyway.
Yeah, I'd say next
And-
3 games, probably next half season. If he does it again, it might be like a
Like
deal breaker.
I don't even remember the last time Singletary's fumbled. Honestly,
Mm-mm.
like don't even remember. Like can't even recall.
He'll take hard hits and stuff too, and just hang on. So yeah.
And the way he played, like he's really gonna. If he keeps playing like that, the running back talk will be shut down very quickly.
Oh yeah.
He will he'll even if he starts being like average, he'll still play for most of the season because of his early, which he kind of does sometimes. Like the early season, he'll kind of do well enough where like they're like
Yeah.
give him too much, and then by the end of the season, he's doing bad.
The mid-season,
But-
he falls out, and then at the end, he seems to come
Yeah.
through again. But it's like, yeah, we need a
I'm
consistent.
still very unsettled about the running game.
Yeah, me too. I feel like he looks better, but like that's one thing that's always been dicey, and we just need a reliable. And like he's never gonna be like one of those, top 10 running backs. He's just not that guy. But if he
We
can get
we
the
don't
job
need him to be.
done, yeah, if he can just get the job done, like I'm saying, if you can rely on that guy to get 3 to 4 yards, like
When you
80,
need him.
90% of the time, like that's all you need from
Like
him.
on 3rd and 4, 3rd and 3,
Yeah.
3rd and 6, we need to be able to rely on a guy to rush
Yeah.
it sometimes. We
Yeah.
shouldn't always have to rely on, okay, we're going to pass, we're going to pass, we're going to
Or
pass.
like make that decision that fourth down can convert. Come on, like that's a bad gamble to play. The fourth down, 4th and 1, 4th and 2.
And we have to pass the ball or have
Yeah.
to rush it with Josh. Like
Yeah.
we need to have a complete offense, I feel like.
I think right now that kept him guessing, having a capable running back that game.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they don't know.
And
He's a threat. He's a screen pass threat. He's a short pass threat. He's
and like you said, capable. There's a difference between being a dominant force like running back and just being capable. We don't need the next star running back. We just need a capable running back.
I think perfect example is CEH on KC. I just watched him again the other day, and he's not. He's same thing. He's not like a top back, but that dude gets it done. 2 touchdowns.
He got 2 receiving touchdowns.
Yeah. Gets it done when they need him, and that's what you need. You just need a guy who can get it done. I think so.
Overall, very impressive offense. Like I'm looking at the stats right now: 413 total yards. Off of 10 total drives, 7 yards per play, 300 almost 300 yards passing, 120 yards rushing, only 5 penalties. Not bad. I know it's a decent amount, but last year was rough for penalties.
We'd have like 5 1/4 sometimes.
4 turnovers, too many. That's literally probably like one of the only like bad spots of the entire thing. Was
two of them were fumbles though, and one, like we said, was like almost was a fumble strip.
Play,
yeah. Oh no, the fumble.
And
strip
one was
too.
a late game fumble, which honestly it was already a blowout at that point, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
But still, can't be having any. I mean, any at all are bad. I don't care.
Some of these
get
weeks,
bad habits.
Some of these
I
weeks
don't want
are gonna
any bad habit. None of that.
I agree, and some of these weeks are going to come down to some of these games are going to be tighter, where like the last team to score is what's going to matter, and we can't have a fumble and turn it over to the team and let them win with a field goal or something, So.
No, I 100% agree. 100% agree. Yeah, and I definitely want to go over before we close. I definitely want to go over Josh Allen's overall performance quick and just say he 10 of 10. To start before the lucky interception.
Yeah.
Dude, I feel like we might have the best player in the NFL.
Yeah, that was wild. The whole game he was just so consistent. What did he end up with?
Right here he ended up 26 of 31, 297 yards, 3 touchdowns. Unfortunately, passing 2 INTs, 1 rushing touchdown, and I think he had 56 yards rushing as well. Led the team in rushing as well.
Yeah. Wild.
He's a stud, dude. He's just so great to watch, so much fun to watch. It's just I don't know, like you've watched with me over the last since the beginning of his career, and like he's the development year after year after year after year has just been incredible. It's so much fun to watch.
I feel like he came out of the box with like false a false confidence.
Small
almost.
school.
Well, I was gonna say also like false confidence. Like he came out like still he was always kind of confident, but I feel like now he really believes it. You know what I mean? Like this year, full on. Like before he was kind of like being the leader, acting the way he needed to, but like after some plays that were bad, he'd like after the game he's like down on himself. But I feel like now. I feel like he's kind of come, fully confident in his ability, and I think it shows because he just will make it happen. He's
you wanna know who I think had a huge help with that? Diggs,
yeah.
Yeah, because just like that trusted guy, and Diggs' personality is definitely booming too, and like I feel like that they just feed off of each other.
Yeah.
And just having that, and I feel like once Buffalo was like, okay, we're gonna go out there, get a big receiver for you, build a team around you to give you the best ability to prove yourself. And I feel like once they dedicated that full to him, that's when like he was like, okay, confidence through the roof,
Yeah. The big contract too, all that,
Oh
like
yeah,
yeah.
last year of signing that huge,
They're showing
huge
that your team
contract.
invested in you like fully. So yeah, I think that's great. And then the stiff arm, we kind of mentioned it, but that was hilarious. It was a good one
The
too.
oh my god, the stiff arm, dude. It's just you cannot. That was. It's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be the NFL rewind of 2022. We're gonna see that for years to come of Josh Allen stiff arming. What was his name? Nick Scott.
Nick Scott, yeah, and he was kind of a nuisance during the game, so it
He
was fun to
was.
see
He
it
actually
happen.
played a great game. I have to say he did play a great game. Only got
Yeah.
one fumble, not two, like everyone thinks. One fumble.
Oh, fun.
Um, but he played a good game. He was a nuisance all game long, but it just sucks. It was just no different than Josh Norman getting fucking postered.
Yeah, and I think just to touch on Cup, we mentioned earlier, but like I think you were saying
Yeah.
like he might have been the only like problem in the game, but I kind of heard after the fact how him and Stafford have like a kind of almost like an Allen Diggs like bond, but even maybe more so because they've been together longer, I think now, and
and
how
I
they
both
just
think we. Yeah, you
yeah.
go. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, and that they really work a lot extra hours on like melding that together, like that relationship on the field. So I think that's just tough to stop. It's tough to stop when you're gonna put it and you know that guy's
Well,
gonna get
just
it.
repetitions alone.
Yeah.
If they're gonna get what they get just based off of the repetitions they're
Yeah.
gonna get, or like the chances they're gonna get, the
Yeah.
opportunities. Like I feel like Cup, no matter what, like I mean, even in games we've lost, like for Bills, like I feel like we do start forcing it to Diggs.
Yeah.
Like we force, pass, try to, and then Diggs ends up with like 8 for 120 or whatever in a loss or something, or 10. He's had games where he had like 10 receptions in a loss because like I do feel like we start forcing it to him, and I feel like that's just how offenses run, especially when they start to falter.
And
You just start going, okay, we're gonna go to star, 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 star.
And it might be the quarterback's mind, like it's not working.
True.
Like I'll go to my traditional,
My
like, reliable
trust.
dude. Yeah, trustworthy. Yeah.
But I do think that was like honestly the one thing was like stopping Cup. But like I feel like no one else did anything. Literally no one did anything.
Yeah.
Even Stafford's numbers are horrendous. They're like 1 touchdown, 3 INTs, like 10 missed, like a 10 incompletions. Like
Yeah.
it was a bad game for Stafford. Like probably one of his worst to start. Like
Cam Akers had nothing, and I had him on fantasy, so I know he had 3 attempts
I
for
know.
0. Henderson.
How?
Henderson had like okay amount of yards, but it was a few short passes that turned into gains. You know what I mean? So
you better be on that waiver wire tomorrow to get Darrell Henderson if he's not on.
I don't even
Because-
know if that's the move because like I don't know
If you have
he's-
an extra spot, you might need to hold both, honestly.
Well, but it's that whole like not to get too off track on the fantasy here from the Bills thing, but it's that whole like is there ever gonna like can you predict it? It's gonna be like the Tyler Lockett Metcalf.
Well, it's kind of like
situation.
Bills right now. Like, who are we gonna play until somebody actually takes over?
I mean, I feel like at
do you
least
start-
with them, Singletary is gonna get the bulk. I think.
like at least 7 to 15 points, no matter
Yeah.
what, probably.
Yeah.
That's why, like, I picked him up in Tyler's league, and I'm probably just gonna have him like bench ride until I know for sure who's gonna be the guy.
I started him last week as flex, and I mean, like, wasn't the worst.
What did he get you,
decision.
8?
8, something like that. Yeah. So. Not
Did you
bad.
win?
No.
Pull
I
her
mean,
off?
it's the verdict's out, but I think Russell Wilson needs to get me like 60 tonight.
Oh God! What if he just has a career game?
I know. No, I think it's honestly like 40 something on behind.
I pulled it
think-
off. I beat Pops by 6.5.
Oh, that was the route. Yeah, that was good. Yeah.
Beat him.
So I might take that first loss. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, that's we're obviously coming to the end.
Do you want to talk about just one thing?
yeah, I just
quick?
wanted.
Oh, go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. What's up?
Oh, we didn't
What's
we
up?
didn't we didn't talk about next week's game. If you want to kind of. Like,
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say we're coming. We're like starting to go towards the end, so I just wanted to like talk about last week's game in general. Like what was that 31-10 final?
Mm-hmm.
Overall, like talk about last week's overall, like who had a big loss, like Giants beating Titans. That's a big loss. Patriots look a lot worse than everyone else. Than everyone thought, I think. Miami, I don't think still that good. Tua, if you look at his numbers, not that good still. I think Bills are still. I think overall our division is still,
Yeah, it's interesting.
I would not be surprised if we sweep still. Giants
Miami,
looks horrible.
Miami might actually end up being like a bigger issue at Miami than the Pats this year if it goes if it stays true to
Yeah,
what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
honestly, I think Miami might be our toughest battle in division, and
Yeah.
obviously weather maybe might be affecting, but I don't even know. It all depends. Like obviously, as the season shapes up, it'll be a little easier to tell. But right off the bat, Green Bay looks up bad.
Yeah.
Vikings, we have to play that whole division. Vikings might be a tough fight now. Like
I
they
said
looked good.
I kept saying that could be a
Jefferson's
loss.
gonna be tough to
They're just
stop.
they're getting to be a well-rounded offense. Like that's tough to deal with.
Once you
Yeah.
get reps, dude, it's just reps, just like our offense. It's just like Josh.
Yep.
Year after year after year, you get better, 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 better. And Kirk Cousins' time is ticking. He's
Yeah.
gotta get that title run under his belt, or else he's not gonna have one.
The other one I'll bring up because it's an obvious one. I felt like Kansas City was gonna be like a little rustier this year, but I think they showed. I mean, it was the Cardinals, but I think they're still gonna be a
Yeah.
really good. That's
Well,
gonna be a
can
good
we
game.
say it's just the Cardinals? Like they're supposed to be a good team.
They
Like, and
always,
they,
I say just the Cardinals because I feel like they're always hyped as like
I know, but aren't they supposed to be a good team? That's also a shock a little bit. Like that game in general, I was kind of like KC's treating them like they're playing like the low level team.
Well,
Not
I didn't know if it
supposed
was
to
the
be a good
Cardinals
team.
falling apart or if it was the Chiefs just like playing dominant. I couldn't
Dominating.
really tell. Yeah, I couldn't tell really from it. So
They look like a well-rounded team too. Like they don't have a star really, but they're like 5, 6 guys getting receptions.
I'll keep my eye on them for next week and see what's going on.
Yeah, right. When do we face KC? Week 4?
I thought it was later even. 6.
Week 6?
Um,
Let me see. I'm gonna pull it
Bills
up.
Chiefs.
quick.
Yep, week 6. It's
Week
right before our
6, so
bye.
we're-
Right before the bye. Yeah.
Honestly, that's gonna be a battle because we're both gonna be full on. Like if any injuries have happened at that point, well, like
Yeah.
Tre'Davious might be back by then. That's gonna be a good game. I can't wait for it. And it's at Chiefs. Oof.
You're right. I
I
think.
feel like we always play them away.
Yeah. Why do we never get them at home? But
So I feel like them and like one other team. Who was it? We always play away, and I just don't understand. I'm like, why do we always play this team away? Like the Rams. Like, why do we always play like a big game like that away?
I feel like the Colts we
Like-
did too. Like we play the Colts away, right?
Yeah.
Whenever we play them. But the Titans though, we get them at home. So how do you feel about that next week?
Yeah, next week's game.
Monday night too. So that's a big deal.
I don't know. I feel like coming off a big game. I feel like a Monday night extra rest. No injuries to too big. Like, I feel like it's going to be another pretty handedly convincing performance.
I hope so. The only thing I'll say is that we've struggled with the Titans in the past. They're not the same team. Neither are we though. So
No, and
but
I was going to say Titans are also coming off a very disappointing
I
loss.
was say
like a
embarrassing
last
loss,
second.
almost embarrassing. Yeah,
So that's where I was like, that was going through my mind as well, and I'm like,
I'd be charged up to prove to people like that we're not, a pushover team kind of.
like,
so.
are we gonna come in and be flat, or are we gonna come out firing again on all cylinders like we did last week? Like,
I would rather come off, and since it's so early in the season, like I don't think our team's gonna be like, oh, we dominated, we're good. Like they're probably gonna keep the gas on. But whereas like I'd rather be coming off like an amazing win than coming off of like a unexpected loss. Really,
yeah, I would too, because at least your confidence is through the roof at this point.
You know what you're capable of doing. You embarrassed you almost embarrassed last year's like championship team.
Honestly, I think Bills win pretty handedly, start 2-0, and send the Titans to 0-2. It sucks for Shane and the Titans, but dude, they had that week 1. They should have won. It was just a bad game.
And,
Who do you think's winning Monday? Oh, sorry about that.
I don't think Henry had a big game either, did he? It didn't.
No,
seem,
which was
no.
weird. And Giants defense, Giants are bad.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Giants are bad, and they played good against Henry. It's weird. Like their offense is like that. Henry will have 48 one game and then 250 the next. And you're like, why? Like, where does this come from? And then all of a sudden, at the end of the season, he's doing like 150 per.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's going to be, in my mind, it should be pretty close to that. The score is going to be pretty close to the Rams game, I think.
Yeah, I think it will like be close to start and then like second half takeover maybe.
Oh, I mean, I think the end will be around that like 30s. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Like you said, yeah. Maybe they'll get a touchdown in the first half, and
Like
it'll be like
30-10,
30-10.
30-17, something like
Yeah,
that. Yeah.
yeah. But I think
What
like
do you think about
I don't
what?
think
Sorry.
I
Yeah.
don't think they're gonna be able to contain us. Like from scoring, I don't think so. So, but we'll see. That might be their issue because they might do okay on offense, but I don't think they'll be able to keep up. With that
Bobby Woods
pace.
was quiet last game.
Yeah,
They were doing a lot of screen passes, which feeds into our game.
yeah, yep.
So
Especially with Von Miller. Okay, what's the last thing you're gonna say? I didn't mean to.
I was gonna ask you about Monday Night Football this tonight.
Oh,
Who do you think's gonna win?
I think Denver. I think that Russell Wilson's every time someone goes back to their old home team and they move on to a new team, they always prove a point. So.
Who do you think's gonna be? Who do you think is the biggest like surprise for yourself of week one?
Of all those games,
Of all the teams, like who do you or like what were you like? Wow, like that actually happened.
I was kind of surprised with how well the Steelers did.
I was too.
And against the Bengals, that was kind of
But
I didn't expect them like they had some pieces. I mean, Trubisky I knew would be all right, but it was I think everyone underdogged that guy. But the good thing about that, I don't know if it's a good thing. I don't want to say it's good, but Najee Harris, they said before the season started, had like some kind of issue with his foot, and I recall it was like something that could be a big deal, or you could play on it and be fine. And obviously, it was a bigger deal because he stepped out in that game, so that could be a big difference for them.
we have to mention the Bears losing to the Niners too. I just have to put that out there for one of our close, Joe Lamanna.
Oh no, you mean the Niners losing to the Bears? Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, Niners
Yeah.
losing to the Bears.
Yeah,
I have
yeah.
to put that out there for Lamanna because
Yeah.
that's just funny.
Let's
He
highlight
texted
that.
me.
Yeah.
I was at work and he texted me and goes, yeah, all teams lose. I go, no. I go, the Bears are garbage. You do not just lose. Oh, weather was crap. I don't care. I was like, I do not care.
I'll throw that
You
up.
guys are a projected top 10 team and you guys lose by 9 to the Bears.
I'm also gonna highlight that game for a previous coworker I had, Paul, who loves the Bears.
Go Bears!
He's a doofus from Arkansas, and he'll love that. So,
Go Bears!
but yeah, so it was funny for me because I
So
believe,
funny.
I didn't watch it closely, but the 49ers had the lead in that game, right, and blew it. They blew
Oh
it.
yeah, they 12 points in the fourth quarter for the Bears to pretty much they were up like 10 I think 10-7.
So
And then 12 points in the fourth to close it up. Trey Lance sucks. 13 of 28.
So Lamanna, L for
Embarrassing.
losers. L for
Yes. L for being a fan of losers. No, I'm just kidding. That was bad though.
Yeah.
And Packers offense looks so bad. God, oh my God, that was a bad game. I don't know how to feel about them, dude. And Cowboys, huge news, Cowboys.
Dak again.
I told so
Yeah.
Dak again, dude. That is so disappointing
Dude, that's
for
a
them,
heart-
dude.
that's a
If I was a
heartbreak,
boys
yeah.
fan,
He's not a bad
that
quarterback
was
either.
huge.
Just bad luck. Just bad luck.
What an embarrassing game too overall for that. It's 19 to 3. I think one touchdown scored.
It's kind of embarrassing for
dude.
both. Yeah.
Right, that's what I'm saying for both. That was just a boring Sunday night football game. And the
Hey.
Monday night's probably not going to be much better.
But I had suck up for my kicker, so getting 14 points, I think.
Nice.
Yeah,
nice.
Yeah.
Carrying you for fantasy.
With all them big field goals he's knocking out.
Right,
in that game. What, he
right.
had 7 in the first half, they said.
Yes, it was crazy, dude. Field goal after field goal after field goal. But, well, I do want to just say before we close up, too, I just want to say thank you to all and everyone, family,
you.
friends, and anyone else that we don't know that have watched, supported. I know we're early on, still getting our name out there and everything. But I've had people reach out to me, friends and stuff like that. So I just want to say I really do truthfully appreciate all of you. We obviously, if we want to make this into something, we need all of your guys' support. So please do go to Red, White, and Buffalo, YouTube, Instagram. I started a TikTok, all that stuff. Please just give us a follow. Give us follow, likes, reacts to our stuff. We're just trying to have some fun with this, but we also do want to see where it does take us. So, once again, Red, White, and Buffalo. We'll also put links all throughout, the videos and on all of our pages as well, and just so you guys can follow them. Anything else, still?
I think that's so well said. Thank you, everybody, and I'm having a good time.
Yeah,
I hope everyone else is having a good time checking it out. Even if you dive in for a little bit of
absolutely.
it. Yeah. So
Yeah. Alrighty, well, thanks again, and we'll be seeing you guys all soon. Let's go,
the
Buffalo!
Buffalo.